This is Tonight Alive. Over the course of 3 albums and countless shows, the Australian band has attracted a worldwide following. Now, on the verge of releasing album number 4, it's safe to say the world is at their feet. This is Jenna. You may know her as the vocalist from Tonight Alive. You're about to know her for even more. Here is Jenna's Guide to Life.
Spirituality. So it seems like this is such a big part of you and about Tonight Alive. But I feel as though it wasn't always there. Like, did you have an awakening? Did you realize that you were a spiritual person and then decide to just focus your creative output towards that?
I really don't know what the turning point was, but I guess I always had an attraction to spirituality and things like crystals and yoga and like natural living and stuff like that has always like called me. But going vegetarian actually really totally changed my life. I had been on herbs for about 2 years at that time, so I was just doing these things that were kind of clearing my body a lot, and especially the physical therapy helped my awareness a lot. I could kind of like energetically sense things and it's becoming more intuitive, and it was like going from a teenager that was just highly sensitive and highly emotional, it was like channeled into like, okay, like empath, like I can be empathic like towards people, and I can be more compassionate, and I can channel that into something constructive instead of being so trapped by being an emotional and highly sensitive person.
Right.
So I think vegetarianism was an amazing turning point for me.
Wow. And how does that impact you as an artist? I mean, you have released things on both sides of this spirituality wall. I don't know why that was the term I came up with. But what's it like now with this heightened awareness? You know, I mean, it's always so good to have a belief system and to have these elements in your life that make you realize that there's more going on than what you're seeing. But you know, too much clarity can suck. So I mean, what's it like now?
It's hectic sometimes.
Then it's just like, God, you need to cloud this up. You got to eat some meat. You know, so I don't know if that's the way around. But I mean, how does that work as an artist? Is it better to have this kind of awareness and this clarity?
It's awesome. Although, like, you just write differently in a way. Like, I can no longer, what's the lyric that I could think of? Like, find it really hard to write negative lyrics because, like, I can see through my bullshit when I say it straight away. So, yeah, you know, writing World Away, our intention when we wrote that song, we were like, we should really write something that, like, still holds that emotional angst and like pain for people, because that's really what people connect with, and like let's give them my story so that they know like everyone feels the same way as they do. And that song still turned out with a silver lining. Like I find it really difficult to be a brat anymore, because I'm like, pull your head in, like, you know, the whole thing, like it's a game, it's an act, it's like a charade, it's an illusion, like so it has helped a lot. Like to see more gives you more responsibility, and you're even open to almost more suffering in a way, because I don't know, you can recognize it in more people and more places. And I mean, it's funny though, Temple doesn't have a silver lining, which is really interesting. I don't say it's going to be okay.
No.
It's probably one of the first times. I didn't think it was going to be okay. I didn't know when the fuck I was going to be okay at that point, because I was doing so much to try and get clear and get healthy and look after myself. I was doing acupuncture myself and meditating and doing qigong and yoga and eating like the most disciplined, sugar-free, vegan, grain-free diet, no garlic, no onion, nothing that creates heat and fire and aggravation and irritation in your body. Like I was trying to keep it as chill as I possibly could, and I was very, very sick. So at the time, I didn't know everything was going to be okay.
And I recall in the bio, it said something along the lines of this kind of mystery ailment you had just went when you finished the record. Is that actually how it went?
Yep.
It's crazy.
It's wild.
It's not even that crazy, is it? It's just kind of like that makes sense.
It does make sense, and I'm still like processing it. I haven't found like this perfect explanation for what the hell happened, because I'm still coming out of it, and I can't believe that I look at my skin and there's nothing on it, you know.
Wow.
Like,
so is that bad? Kind of.
It was all over me. Yeah, it was so intense, and like, yeah, it was hurting a lot. Right. So writing the songs, recording them, finishing it, coming home, being done with, you know, the last, you know, it's not just the 3 months that we wrote it, it's not just the 2 months that we recorded it, it's kind of like the whole Limitless era. It's like it almost all finished for me in July this year. What
have you learnt? You know, like what's your takeaway been from it all? To like seeing how happy you are now in yourself and in this room, and you know, in what you're doing, you know, what's your takeaway from it all?
Like it's endless, like the work, it's like the work never ends, but that shouldn't be something that turns us off. It's just, it's kind of nice to feel like there's no finish line in a way. Like I believe that we're eternal. I believe that we're the soul that's going to enter another body or another realm after this, you know, expiration happens. And I guess in a way that creates a sense of freedom for me, because we're just trying to work off, you know, the past. And I think there has to be that forward motion happening, but also being at peace with just being here now and like coming back to the present moment. And I think they say, like, if you're depressed, you're living in the past, and if you're anxious, you're living in the future. And when you're at peace, you're living in the now. The amazing thing I learned recently was about the clinging and the attachments that we have. And the attachments are pretty much the source of all suffering. That's a Buddhist teaching. And I find that when I'm getting pretty wound up or really down, and I was feeling some anxiety earlier today, I was like, what am I thinking about? What am I like energetically like holding on to right now? And I was like, it's an attachment. It's an attachment to a person, or it's an attachment to a memory. And it's like, you know, like those things aren't here right now. They're not in my physical reality. That person's not here. That issue was a long time ago. It's like, you know, you got to cut those cords and just got to make yourself free. Be here, be now, you know, be present.